afternoon. Welcome to Driftless Knitting. My name is Jennifer, and this in the past has been a podcast all about knitting and fiber arts and different crafty things like that. It has been quite some time since I filmed a regular podcast episode, and it's been almost a year exactly since I uploaded anything to my YouTube channel. The reason for that, for those of you who have been around since the beginning, or been around for a long time, if not from the beginning, is because I now have small children and a more demanding job than I have had in the past. And so podcasting, unfortunately, has been put on hold. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you will know that I recently had my third child, my third baby. I'm looking over to the side there because she is currently asleep in her swing, and which is why I thought I could set up really quick and record an episode. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to record, but we're gonna take as much as we can get. She was born in October, so she's almost 2 months old. Today is December 3rd, by the way. It is a Wednesday. And my older kids, my oldest son is at preschool, and our middle, I'm having to get used to saying our middle child, my second son, is at daycare. And I am currently on maternity leave. I go back to work actually next week, so this is kind of my last chance to do any sort of recording, and unfortunately I won't be doing Vlogmas this year. That's something else I wanted to talk about, because in the past couple of years the only recording I've really done is for Vlogmas, and I've really enjoyed doing that. Last year I think I got about halfway through the month, and then I had to, again, for time purposes, having small kids, just not having much to record, because we are, working our day jobs, coming home, getting the kids ready, going to bed, doing it all over again. There wasn't a whole lot of content to put into Vlogmas. So a combination of those two things resulted in me cutting Vlogmas short last year, but I did do a good number. And the year before that, which is amazing to me, that was the year that Weston was born, our second son. And I think I did 24 days. I don't know if I think I didn't record one on Christmas, or Christmas Eve, although I did record it. I did not upload it, I should say. That is like the lost episode. It never got uploaded. There were some technical difficulties, and then by the time I figured them out, or I don't even know if I figured them out, it was just too much time had passed and I just never uploaded it. But anyway, pretty much did the whole Christmas season. Like I said, I've really enjoyed doing that, and I'm very sad that I'm not doing it this year. I kind of attempted to take some videos on the 1st of December, on Monday, and you'd think, I'm home, I'm on maternity leave, I should have plenty of time. A 2-month-old baby, even though sometimes they sleep for a long time and I'm able to get some stuff done, most of the time they are needing to eat or be rocked, or I'll walk around the house with her if she's a little fussy. And then in the moments that she is sleeping, I frantically try to get stuff done, because when the other two kids are home, there's not much of that. So dishes, laundry, getting the house kind of in order, that happens when she's sleeping. So yeah, I took like maybe 2 or 3 videos, and then I realized it just wasn't going to happen. So I abandoned that plan. I was going to maybe take some video and splice together, like once a week, do a upload for multiple days. And again, that just it became pretty clear I just wasn't gonna be able to do that. So this is the first year in a really long time I won't be doing Vlogmas. No, she's making noise. Yeah, and apologies for that. But I wanted to come on really quick and show you what I've been working on, a few things that I've finished, and yeah, and just get something up on the YouTube channel because I've really, really missed this and I really want to get back to it eventually. So here's hoping that in the coming years, I can come back to it on a more regular basis. And yeah, I appreciate anybody who is still, you know, here and subscribed, because there has not been very much put on the channel. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start with a couple of finished objects that I have. These are things that I've been doing over the past, I don't know, 6 months or so. I've finished a couple of other things, but these ones are really, well, they were handy. They were, you know, still kind of sitting in my room. A couple of them are waiting to be finished completely. Ends woven in and everything like that. But yeah, so I, of course, was in full baby knitting mode. I found out I was pregnant last February. And so from then on, I started doing a little bit of knitting. I guess I waited until, when did we find out gender? At 20 weeks. So it was sometime in the late spring, late spring, I would say, that we found out we were having a girl. So I was able to kind of curate some of the knits specifically that way because, again, I didn't have much knitting time, but the knitting, so I didn't want to just like knit anything. I had a couple of special things I wanted to make for her, specifically if it was a girl. So I waited to find out and then got a couple of these knits done. So this sweater I have here, I had to write these down. I actually have some very sparse notes sitting next to me to try and remind myself, but this is called the Grayson cardigan, available on Ravelry. I'm not sure if it's available anywhere else, but it's by Benya Kirk. That's spelled Benja. And it's this adorable, sweet cardigan with a lace panel. Hopefully you can see that. So the lace panel goes down the front of both sides of the button band, and I still need to put buttons on it, and I still need to weave in ends, as you can see right there. This is a yarn I bought a very, very, very long time ago. Maybe 8 years or so. I was working at Knit Circus. We used to have trunk shows because we used to have a store. I no longer work for Knit Circus, by the way, for those of you who have been here in the past, but maybe don't follow me on Instagram. Knit Circus has downsized considerably and is no longer really actively dyeing yarn. So about a year ago, I got a new job. And yeah, it's been good. It's not as fun as working for a yarn company. And I really, really miss it a lot. But yeah, we are in a good place. And yeah, I do really miss it. Excuse me. So this yarn came to us for a trunk show, and I can't remember the dyer offhand. I want to say maybe it was Tippy Tree Yarns, and I don't know if Tippy Tree Yarns is still dyeing yarn. Like I said, this was like 8 or 9 years ago. So I loved this sort of blue jean color, and apologies for the light. I'm getting a lot of natural light, and hopefully it's good, but it's kind of washing out this color. So it's a very beautiful blue. It looks kind of gray on the screen that I'm seeing. Maybe in the back. I don't know if you can see the blue any better, but, and it's on a silver like stellina base. And it was called Blue Jean Baby. That was the yarn colorway name. And I was either newly married or wasn't even married yet. And I remember thinking to myself, yes, I was married. Yes, I was. But I remember thinking to myself, this would be so pretty for a little girl, for a knit, for a little baby girl. And I said to myself, I'm going to buy this yarn. I'm going to save it just in case I have a girl someday. And if I don't have a girl someday, I'll knit myself something with it eventually. And we, for a very long time, thought we were only going to have 2 kids. And then we were pleasantly surprised to be having a baby girl as our 3rd baby. And I still had this skein of yarn. So I just had to knit something for her in it. And this is what I decided on. I wanted something simple, yet with a tiny touch of like a feminine look to it, but not overly like decorative. So this was the perfect option. And I love, my favorite color is blue. So I love dressing girls in blue. And also the fact that it has that little bit of a sheen, a little bit of a sparkle, kind of gives it a slight feminine edge, but not overly, just like with the lace pattern. So I loved everything about this knit. It's a fingering weight yarn, and not sure what size needles, but I just followed the pattern. I believe this is the 6 month, 3 to 6 month, but it looks much more like it will be like a 6 month. So I'm hoping by springtime she can fit into it. She was pretty small when she was born. Only, you know, a little over, it was like, she was like 6.5 pounds, which was a lot smaller than my boys were. So she has taken some time to grow into things. Whereas at 2 months, I think my boys were already growing out of 3-month clothing. And she is just now being able to be put in it without it just completely falling off of her. So yeah, that was that. The second finished object that I have, in between all of this, I also knit some baby socks. I knit 2 pairs of baby socks for her. Those I've put away though, because they're like, they fit within the first maybe month. They fit her for the first month, and then they were too small. So those have been put away, unfortunately. And I also knit her a little baby blanket. That is actually currently on her right now, so I cannot grab it. But I used a colorway that I dyed right before I left my job at Knit Circus. Knowing that I was leaving, I designed this colorway that I've been dreaming of for years, since I started working, well, not since I started working there, but for a few years. I really wanted to do a colorway that was very earthy, but colorful, and kind of based it on some bouquets of wildflowers. And so I developed this kind of labor-intensive speckle colorway. But I absolutely loved it. It was exactly what I wanted. I dyed a bunch of it up, took it to a trunk show, sold it. I think a lot of our customers really liked it. It was a great, like, sort of last project and expression that I was able to have right before I left my job there. I had a lot of fun with it. So I had 2 skeins of a DK weight on a merino cashmere base that I really, really loved, that Knit Circus sold, called Daring DK. There is, I believe, still a little bit of Knit Circus available online, ready to ship. I think that the owner is just kind of moving the remaining stock out. So anyway, I don't believe there's any, this colorway was called Among the Wildflowers, and I don't believe there's any more of that colorway left. I think that she dyed some of it after I left because she was still taking in dye to order orders, but I doubt that there's any of that. That was like a year ago. So anyway, it's a beautiful base. I highly recommend using luxury bases for babies, even though that sounds crazy. This is a washable blend of wool and cashmere and nylon, and it is the softest thing you can imagine. It gets a little bit fuzzy after washing, but I have washed it in the washing machine on a delicate cold cycle, and it has come out fine. I did not dry it. I left it to dry, air dry, flat, but it holds up well. And I just love how soft it is and warm. And I've knit with this base and with other sort of quote unquote luxury bases before for babies. And they're just so incredibly soft on their skin. So highly recommend. Don't just give babies acrylic because you think it's gonna last longer. Wool lasts a really long time. So anyway, my second finished object actually just finished last weekend. I've been working on this for a couple months now because I had to restart it, and then the baby was born, and then I just had zero knitting time for the first few weeks. I still don't have very much. I have maybe an hour here and there, mostly when we're in the car. And yeah, I don't get much done. But I managed to finally finish this sweater. This is called the Baby Ashley, and it's not blocked. So the button bands here will spread out a little bit. But you can see it has a beautiful sort of broken rib button band, or I guess it's like garter. This is garter stitch and this is stockinette. So yeah, just a really cool detail there on both sides of the button band. Again, simple, but just enough detail, and it's easy to memorize. I've knit so many of these sweaters. I knit one for Hudson, my oldest, and for Weston. She's been wearing the one that I knit for Hudson because it's the smallest size. And that sweater has gotten so much wear between the three kids. That one was done out of Malabrigo, worsted, no, DK. Yeah, a DK 100% washable merino. Again, use the nice yarn for the kids. It lasts, and it's so soft and warm if you can manage it. I understand that that's not an option for a lot of people, but if you can manage it, I highly recommend using some of those beautiful skeins of yarn for baby knits. So that sweater has gotten so much wear. And then I have another one with Knit Circus yarn that's kind of the next size up, sort of. It's a little bit bigger, and I'll switch over to that one probably pretty soon since she is growing pretty well. And then I have this one, and this one I would say, yeah, this one is definitely the biggest size that I've done. It also will probably fit her in early spring, maybe in 3-4 months. I really wanted to knit it with this colorway because she is a fall baby. She was born the second week of October. And so this is called Taste of Fall. This is a DK weight yarn from Bumblebee Acres. And I just love the subtle fall colors. So this has a base color of a yellowish off-white, definitely on the yellow side. And then the speckles of orange and blue and green and red. I'm just trying to get the speckles to catch the light here. Like I said, it hasn't been blocked, so the bottom is kind of flipping up a little bit. But yeah. So she did not get a chance to wear it in the fall, but that's okay because it's a little bit bigger. She'll be able to wear it longer. And I'm really happy with that. So gotta find some buttons for both this one and the other cardigan. And The Baby Ashley is by Kelly Van Niekerk? Yeah, just look up Baby Ashley. There's also a Wee Ashley, which is some smaller sizes. But what I like about the Baby Ashley is it has a pattern for both fingering weight and DK weight, and then lots of different sizes. So you can kind of customize it based on the yarn that you want to use. So that is sweater number 2. And I'll just show off my bag really quick because I know that that's interesting for a lot of people. This is a Daisy Girl & Company bag that I got quite a while ago. So love those peekaboo bags. So I also have a bonnet that I have been knitting on that I need to put an I-cord string on. That's the last thing I need to do with it. It's already blocked and everything. Just have to add the I-cord, and I have been procrastinating doing that, both because of time and just because if I get some knitting time, I was trying to get that sweater done. And then I have been working on a pair of socks, but I really just need to get that done because I'm afraid that her head is going to get too big by the time I have a chance to finish it. I don't have it with me right now. It's back in my bedroom, but it is the Rigmore's bonnet by Petite Knits. And maybe I'll take a little video of that and the blanket that I was telling you about, so that you can kind of see what those are without, me just talking about them. Okay, so my work in progress. This is a pair of socks. I am halfway through the heel right now, but I will still show them to you. She's moving around a lot more and grunting a lot more, so she might wake up soon. But this is in a Hannah Lou Designs bag. I just got this one this year. And I think this is my second fall themed bag from Hannah Lou Designs, and she sells her bags via Bumblebee Acres. And this yarn, coincidentally, is Bumblebee Acres. This is an old colorway that I can't remember the name of it. It's one of their fall colors. It might be Spell on You, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But I got it quite a few years ago. Can you sense a theme? A lot of these things I got a long time ago trying to knit from stash, and I just love this color. Plus it was already caked up, and I wanted to start a pair of fall socks before the baby came. So I actually brought this sock to the hospital with me. Did not get a ton of knitting done. I did a little bit of knitting while I was waiting for contractions to get stronger, but I did not knit that much while I was there. Now, when I was having Weston, and you guys might roll your eyes and be like, of course you didn't, but when I was having Weston, I got induced and there was a little bit more downtime. There was a fair amount of downtime this time around too, but with Weston, they try to get things going, and you're sitting around for quite a few hours waiting for, things to happen. So I actually did quite a bit of knitting that day. But I brought it, I had the toe done, and I maybe knit like 4 rows on the sock. But this is what it looks like. This is on their Coquette base, which is a Corriedale and nylon blend. And I love the deep purples with the white and the orangey yellow. And then I paired it with a semi-solid that I also got from them. And this is just a nice gold yellow base, or gold yellow color. So it kind of pulls out the oranges and the yellows from this skein. So yeah, I've just been steadily working on that. I was able to get a little bit of knitting done today. The first time really all week that I was able to, and I did half of the heel. I usually do a Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is just a short row heel. Highly recommend. I love the way that the turns are done and the wrapped stitches. They're not really wrapped stitches. She has a very unique way of like picking those up and doing the turns. So yeah, highly recommend the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. This stitch pattern, if you can see it on the front, is, you can't really pick it out because the yarn is so variegated, but it's just like a little texture that I came up with. There's no pattern for it or anything, but yeah, easy enough to insert and just do not much counting, not much paying attention. But yeah, so if you were curious about that, which yeah, like I said, I don't know if you can even pick out that texture. But yeah, I do it, my socks toe up on a size US 1 needle, and I currently use and have used for a really long time the Addy sock rockets, or Addy rockets. They used to be called sock rockets when they first came out because I think they just made them in small sizes for sock knitting. And now they make them in all the sizes, so they're just called rockets. All right, I'm realizing how many times this episode I've said like a long time ago, and I've had this for a really long time, and blah, 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 and yeah. Oh man, I have been knitting, and I had worked in the yarn industry for many, many years, for like 14 years before I switched jobs last year. So a lot of my stuff, I sort of harken back to, you know, the days when I was working at a yarn store and then working for Knit Circus. I have a lot of things from that time, and I have a lot of stash. So I end up using things that I've had for a really long time, but that's good. A couple more things. I'm realizing that I should have showed this with my finished objects, but it's kind of a special finished object. So last November, I published a blanket pattern called the Love Light Blanket. And this was made to use a fingering weight 20-gram yarn advent. I knit mine up in the Ruby and Roses 2023 yarn advent. So, and I published it in 2024. So it's a striped blanket using all 24 skeins. It has a broken rib texture, which I absolutely love. And I've, of course, weighed out all of the skeins and everything like that, so you know exactly how many rows to do, how much yarn it takes for each stripe. All of that's in the pattern. This pattern is available on Ravelry, so you can go ahead and purchase it there if you'd like to. I would really appreciate it. I haven't been publishing patterns much. Like podcasting, that's taken a back seat. Maybe someday I'll go back to it. But this one was one I really wanted to do because I wanted a fun, easy blanket pattern that I could do that wasn't just garter stitch, because I know that there's some garter stitch patterns out there, and was pretty mindless. And let me tell you, this is pretty mindless. Even though it keeps your attention, you can read the knitting really easily. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Oh, she's waking up. So I really love this. If you need a project for your advent, and it's a good size too. It's a really great lap blanket. And Hannah uses it. Hannah is my daughter, by the way. Hannah uses it quite a bit when we're sitting on the couch. I'll fold it up in half, and then it's still plenty big to use as a little baby blanket when it's in half. I would say if you want to use this as a baby blanket, it would be a really great crib blanket. I think it'd be a little bit too big to put in a car seat. You'd really be bunching it up unless you folded it. But she has used it folded up in her swing, on the couch when we're cuddling and relaxing. She has used it then. Otherwise, my boys really love it. It's a great size for, it fully covers my oldest son, who's 5, fully covers his body. Oh, that's the timer for my banana bread, but I know for sure it's not done yet because it's a big loaf, so I'm just gonna leave it be for now. But it covers Hudson, my 5-year-old's full body, and then some. And then for me, it's a really great size to cover my entire lap when I'm sitting on the couch. So yeah, I really love it, and I hope if anyone is knitting it or downloads it, that you guys really love it too. Okay. Last thing, because I'm on borrowed time. Oh, she closed her eyes again. Let's see how long that lasts. So I am opening a yarn advent this year too. And hey, look at that. It's from Bumblebee Acres Yarn. Can you tell? I really, really love their yarn. Oh, and I love the bees too. They are fabulous and wonderful friends. And we go way back. So I am opening up their Muppets Christmas Carol yarn advent. Now, this is my absolute favorite movie. Not just one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's my favorite Christmas movie, and it's one of my favorite all-time movies. I am a huge lover of Charles Dickens. I studied him a lot when I was getting my English degree, and I've read A Christmas Carol quite a few times. I just love his writing. Can't go on enough about it. And so Muppets Christmas Carol has been a tradition with my sister and I for years and years and years before I even, studied him in school and became a huge fan of him in general. We started watching Muppets Christmas Carol together every Christmas Eve when I was probably 9 or 10. And carried that on. We had the VHS copy, then got the DVD copy. Now it's, on Disney Plus or whatever, so we don't even need that. But I've been watching it every year since I can pretty much remember. So yeah, I was so excited when I saw that they were doing a Muppets Christmas Carol advent, and I ordered it immediately, or as soon as I could. So this is the tote bag that it came in. I really love all the quotes on there. I love the images. This will be one that I definitely use in years to come, as well as for this advent. And because it's the 3rd, I have opened 3 days. Now excuse some crunching here. Okay. So all of the skeins are named from, except for maybe this one, but they're named from quotes, or at least the ones I've seen so far. There might be some character skeins as well, but so far they've all been quotes. So this one is called Victorian London. This is the one that is not a quote, but this is a really beautiful gray, brown, and beige, and green, of course. I really love that pop of green in there. I got mine on their squishy sock base, which is it 75-25 merino nylon, or it might be 80-20 merino nylon. I did see a post that they did the other day showing it on their coquette sock base, which is what I'm doing my socks with. And there's a part of me that wishes I had ordered it on that, although I love the squishy sock base. The coquette sock just sort of takes the color differently, and it's just so beautiful. But all of their colorways come out beautiful on any sock base that you order. So yeah, I'm extremely happy, and I'm so excited to be opening this. But yeah, it's just beautiful. So number 2, day 2 was help, I'm being stolen, which is a quote from... This makes me so happy. A quote from one of the Melons, which sounds so crazy. But if you watch the movie, if you've watched it before, it's a Muppet movie, so things are alive that shouldn't be alive, usually, including the food. So in one of the opening sequences, when you're meeting Scrooge, a lot of the village folk, the city folk, are singing about him. And there's some of the foods and the fruits are also singing. And one of the melons gets taken by a little boy. Or maybe that's not during the song. They do sing in the song. The food sings. Yeah, and even the fruit don't like him. Anyway. So yeah, like a street urchin boy is stealing one of the melons and it is alive. So it shouts, "Help, I'm being stolen." Okay, anyway, that was a really long explanation for this. But this is the day 2 color. And then day 3 is "I'm here to tell the story." And then that's in quotes. And then there's another quote, "And I'm here for the food." So Muppets Christmas Carol is very unique to other versions of the story in that Charles Dickens is narrating it. And Charles Dickens is Gonzo. And they quote directly from the book, which is another reason why I love the movie. So while the action is going on, you get little snippets from the book quoted by Gonzo, who is Charles Dickens. And then Rizzo the Rat is like his sidekick. He's like the color man. He's just kind of there to be funny and riff off of Gonzo. So Charles Dickens, Gonzo, says, "I'm here to tell the story." And then Rizzo chimes in and says, "And I'm here for the food." I really want to watch this movie now. I feel like I need to save it, which probably isn't the best mindset. We usually always, like I said, watched it Christmas Eve. Now that's a little trickier with like kids and stuff. But we'll see when I get a chance to watch it. It has to be done sometime this Christmas season. So this is the day 3 colorway. I'm really hoping that you can see it okay. It's lots of beautiful, rich purples. There's the blue that I associate with Gonzo. And yeah, whoa. So that's really cool. I'm realizing I should have turned on maybe another light, but hopefully the daylight is enough to you're able to see everything. So that is my yarn advent. I'm putting them all back into their bags with the quotes and the numbers on them. And then this is how they're packaged. I don't think I showed that. But this is how they're packaged with the number and the quote on the front with the little picture from the movie. And they're in like red and green little bags. So yeah, that's just something to look forward to every day. And I've really been enjoying that. I was going to show you if I had a little bit of time left, and I know I've been recording for about 40 minutes now. But I was going to show you quick, since this is a fiber arts and crafting podcast. I pulled out, of course, our stockings. We're going to hang those up because we're decorating the house gradually, little by little, every day, sort of pulling out some more things. And I also now have Hannah's stocking, and our stockings are really special because they were all cross-stitched by my Oma, my grandmother. She is my dad's mother. We grew up really close with them. They lived right next door to me until I was a freshman in high school, when they had to move closer to my dad for health reasons for them. But yeah, they lived right next door to me. My Oma is the one who taught me how to knit. She has played a huge part in my life, and these are just really special because she created them, and she's still with us. She's 92 years old, and she was able to make all of the stockings for my whole family and all of my sister's whole family, my cousins. Yeah, pretty special. So this is my stocking. And this one, of course, I was born in 1990. So this one she did a long time ago. But the detail on there, isn't that beautiful? And then the back of mine is actually quilted. So she finishes them and everything. Yeah, pretty beautiful. And then we have Sievers, which she, of course, made after we had gotten married. So there's Sievers. Beautiful. I love the image of the horse-drawn sled and the skaters back there and the little village. The detail of this, isn't it just so beautiful? As a wannabe cross-stitcher, I just look in awe. And then he's got, his isn't quilted on the back, but she did finish it with some piping and some fabric there. And then, of course, we have Mr. Hudson. He is our firstborn. And he got a Santa with toys. Again, very detailed. Just so beautiful. Hopefully you can see this. I can't see you, so. And then some Christmassy fabric. And then number 4 was Weston. Oh goodness, she's really trying to stay awake. She keeps falling back to sleep. So this is Weston's. I really, really love his too. I got to pick this one. She did Hudson's. Not that I don't like Hudson's, but she did Hudson's. And then she had asked me out of, I don't know, 3 or 4 different patterns, which one I wanted. So I chose this one. I love the sort of old world feel to it. It looks very like vintage. So pretty. Oh, sweetie pie. We're almost done. And then number 5. This was the one I recently just got back from her. She had actually made this one a long time ago before I had kids. She was just kind of making a few because she really enjoyed making them, and then just set them aside for when her grandkids had children. So I loved this one, and I always said that I hoped I had a girl so I could have this stocking for her. And then I had 2 boys, and I was like, oh, well, it's okay. And then now I have a girl, so it's very exciting. So it's got the toy room. Not that this couldn't be a boy stocking, but with the dress hanging, it just kind of seemed more girl, skewed toward feminine. But yeah, not necessarily. It doesn't have to be. It's just a kid's nursery. Oh, I know, honey. And with that, with me showing off her stocking, I should go grab Hannah. But I really just wanted to say thank you. If you watched this episode, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sticking with me, and I hope to be back soon. Have a great Christmas. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so as promised, I'm taking a short little video of the baby blanket I knit for Hannah, my daughter. This is just a small little baby blanket that's perfect for the car seat, the swing, and hopefully like a little lovey at some point when she doesn't need it in the car seat anymore and she gets bigger. She's sitting right here next to she's just kicking right here, aren't you? Yeah. So this is the Among the Wildflowers colorway that I talked about that I dyed right before I switched jobs, so I'm not dyeing yarn anymore. And it's a DK weight, I still say that when I talk about Knit Circus, the Daring DK base, and I use 2 skeins, so that's why it's a little bit smaller. If you want to make it bigger, you can. The pattern is called A Good Wooby, and Wooby is Wooby, and that's by Barbara Benson, and I really liked this pattern. It was mindless, but still interesting to do, and yeah, it's the perfect size. I really, really am loving using it. The other thing that I wanted to show you was the bonnet. I still have ends to weave in, and I have to add the I-cord. So this is the back of the head there. And then the I-cord you pick up here and you knit down on each side. So I have to do that still, but otherwise it's completely done. I need to actually get on that because I think it would be the perfect size for her to wear right now. And pretty soon she'll probably grow out of it. So gotta get on that. This is also a Knit Circus colorway. And for some reason the name is escaping me now. And honestly, I don't know if it really matters because she's not dyeing yarn anymore, which makes me really sad. But this is also the Daring DK base. This is leftover from a sweater that I did like a few years ago, and I had a little bit left over. And I think I still might have a bit left over after this project. It doesn't take much yarn. So yeah, so there's the bonnet and the blanket, and that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Oh, I should show you my socks really quick because I'm wearing some Christmas socks. And there's no pattern for these either, but this is a Homespun House yarn that I got a couple years ago, and this was my Christmas Eve cast on, I think in 2023. So yeah, I'm loving getting out all of my Christmas socks and wearing them and remembering all of my Christmas Eve cast-ons. So thanks for watching, and I hope to record again sometime soon. Keep a lookout for more videos. I really hope I can get more uploaded, and it won't take me another 2 years.